good, Sydney? You okay? You feeling good? You
I'm feeling
okay?
good. I'm feeling good. Fantastic. It's a nice Monday night. Actually, it's not nice. It's kind of rainy outside. It's pouring, storming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone that went outside just
yeah,
got all wet.
yeah. Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, and there's no Daniels around. Like it's storming and no Daniels. It's unfortunate. But
No Daniels.
yeah, yeah. That's the sad part about it.
Mm.
I tried to look some stuff up about that, right? And I was just like, yeah, this ain't it for me, man. It's like old school. Like I saw like some videos or whatever that people had or whatever. She's like a porn star or some shit, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was like
You
I was
finally
like
got it.
I was like Daniels. Hold on, because in my head I was thinking like Daniels Boulevard. Or Daniels Road, whatever the fuck it's called. And then I
I
finally
was waiting
caught,
for you. It was like, all right, because
I was calling for like Stormy Daniels. Okay, now it clicks. Thank God.
I was at the basketball where I was waiting for you to give me the assist. I'm like, I'm here. I'm submitting it in there. You just pass me the ball. I can dunk it in.
Listen,
I'm telling you,
Sydney.
it's not that great.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
opinion. So
I got you.
step up, President Trump, man. You're gonna fuck a porn star, man. Fuck a Mia Khalifa or some shit. I don't know. Fuck a Lisa Ann. Oh, anyway, so how was your weekend, dog?
My weekend. So, I ended up. Well, we went to go see Matt Walden and Wilder Sons over at South Street.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally was there. I totally wasn't there for the last 5 or 10 minutes for it. But how was it? Because I literally like got there like the last minute.
Well, I was only there to catch Matt Walden.
Okay.
As far as like when I got there,
Mm-hmm.
like he was performing, and it was a big crowd, you know.
Yeah, dude.
And all the basic white girls in the front 2 rows.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it's the what do you call it? Like Ed Sheeran, like before Ed Sheeran, it was a while before white dude playing guitar by himself was cool. Like the old John Mayers and the a couple other people, whatever. Like that used to be the wave, and he's playing like sappy love songs or whatever, and appeals to that white woman demographic. And then that British motherfucker Ed Sheeran gets on that guitar, gets that loop pedal, starts to do little drum bass lines, and then a whole new wave. That wave comes back, man, and it's a fun wave, man. It's so easy.
Yeah,
you literally have to divide the money with yourself.
Yeah.
And you have the effect of a full band.
So, well, that being said, one other thing that I can of note, and I apologize to Aaron ahead of time, but Aaron did invite me to go see Anthony Green up in Ybor at the Orpheum.
Did he go?
I don't know. I tried to follow up with him and he didn't answer. So I think he's upset with me because I didn't go. So, and then Sunday, we just hung out with Amanda.
Yeah, it was a good time. Dude, I went to St. Pete. This past Friday. And it's been a while since I've been up in that area, because the last time I was in that area, I went to Ybor. And then I don't know if I went to St. Pete the next day when I originally went. But anyways, going up to St. Pete, I was going to see my friend. A whole bunch of my other friends came up. And I realized that I can't hang out as much as I used to. I can't drink on the same level as I used to. I turned 25 this year, and I was drinking like how I was back when I was 22, 21. I pre-gamed super hard. Not super hard. I just drank like a whole bottle of wine. It sounds wild trash right now, because I just feel my old self calling me pussy. I was like, you drank a whole bottle of wine? I'm like, well, I almost drank the whole bottle, right? And I got really, really drunk, right? So by the time we went downtown, like I couldn't actually appreciate it, because I was just already like in the fucking bobble-headed mode. I was like, and then maybe like 1 o'clock hit, my body just crashed. Like it just completely, like the bars were still open for another 2 or 3 hours, but I was like, I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go to sleep. Is that for me, man? So I just don't have I just really don't have the same level of stamina, dog. I need to be an old white woman to just drink wine at home. Speaking of old white women, also, fuck Miss Sally. This is episode 13, right? We still going.
Yeah.
Still making it out here.
Miss Sally, if you're listening right now, I just want you to know that your gardening podcast is finished.
Yeah.
We've taken over.
Yes.
This is very much a hostile takeover.
Yes.
You're done. You're finished.
You're finished.
Yeah. We'll start selling Miss Sally's merchandise.
Just to spite you. Just says R.I.P. Miss Sally. You know, have you? Have you? I don't know. Like I know you're not really into hip hop or whatever as much. But they, a lot of black communities, when somebody passes away, they have like a big, like graphic image of like the person who died, but it's always like a very like shitty quality photo.
Oh my
it's
god,
never that good. And I'm looking at it, I'm trying to feel like sentimental, but it just the image looks just so bad. It's like imagine if you had like a 360p photo on your on like as a shirt, like and you're just wearing it around, but it says R.I.P. It's like, man, I'm so sad that happened to you, but
listen.
Quality.
Sometimes you just can't get HD.
You can't get HD, yeah, that's
especially
true.
when you blow it up to the size of a shirt.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, but R.I.P. Miss Sally, man. We're just gonna put that out there. But well, anyways, besides that, yeah, I had a pretty relaxed weekend. But yeah, let's bring on our guest. Hopefully, he had a way better, more exciting weekend than we had. I'm sure you've already seen him on the video, whatever. We got my dog, Andre Desaint.
Yo,
how you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. Just chilling. My weekend was actually pretty fucking great.
Oh, that's good.
But I
I
had the same issue that you had, though. I realized on my second night of going out this weekend that it's just not for me anymore, dog. Like, it's a lot of work.
It's a wrap.
Bro,
yeah.
It's a lot of work. Like, drinking more than once in a weekend. Fuck, dude, it was intense. But yeah, my homeboy Chris Daniels, who just dropped the EP.
Yeah.
He had a show, and we
Rapper's Power, right?
What?
He said R.I.P. I thought, isn't his name R.I.P.?
No, Chris Daniels.
Yeah, black dude raps.
Yeah,
I thought his rap name was R.I.P.
No, it's just Chris Daniels.
Just
maybe he changed it.
Oh, maybe
it's
he changed
been Chris
it.
Daniels since I've known him.
Oh, because I remember when I was in college going with him, I could have sworn to his.
You're
R.I.P.
Yeah. You're talking about like FGCU days, right?
Yeah, FGCU. Okay,
I've met him post that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, but we're talking about the same person.
Yeah, yes.
But anyway, he had a show on Friday night, and we have a song together. So we did that song live. It was pretty fun, very tight event. He brought a lot of people out, killed it. And then on Saturday night, my boy Malik and the people over at Curate had they brought down a
DJ
party.
Malik.
Yeah. They brought down a party from Atlanta called Wine Global. With Fort Myers legend Xavier Black. He used to go by DJ X when he was here. Actually, one of the first DJs I've ever heard play my shit, like when I was super young.
Really?
Yeah. So it was kind of cool, like it all coming full circle.
Right.
And that was super, super fun. And I'm originally from Jamaica. They did I was born here, but my parents are from Jamaica. I lived in Jamaica for a while. And it was like kind of like a reggae night,
reggaeton,
soca,
winding,
reggae soca, like all that shit. So it was fun, man. It was a good time. But Sunday I was just fucking out.
Just
destroyed. I fucking went to bed at like 9:30 or something.
Yeah, that sounds like a fucking amazing. Okay. During Saturday night, what was the point where you're like, oh shit, I am this age right now, and I need to go home. I need to take my black ass home. I need to just chill out.
Yeah, it was actually surprisingly later than I thought it would be. It was like probably like 1:30, 1:45.
Okay,
and my girl was like, "Yeah, you gotta get an Uber," and I was like, "God damn it!"
He's been the fucking
I was just out.
Bobble weeb.
Yeah, I was toasted, man. But it was a lot of fun, dude. It was really cool. What Curate's doing right now is fucking awesome.
Yeah, Curate Southwest Florida, right?
Yeah.
We gotta. Because I know a couple of people like Sway.
Sway was there
I've
taking
met
pictures.
DJ Malik before or whatever.
Malik's the homie. I've known him since he was like super young. Me and his brother are super close. Closer in age, but yeah, Malik's like killing it right now, man.
Yeah,
he's really cool to see
DJ Malik is legit.
Oh yeah,
for sure. And plus, I think they also do a podcast too.
They have Heat Check. It's awesome. Yeah, hopefully they'll invite me at some point.
Cough, cough, cough. Hey, we
No,
got you because
no.
John's Closet got you here first, dog.
Yeah.
What up, DJ Malik? Huh? Now that Miss Sally's dead, we got a new rival. Heat
Yo,
check.
what is y'all beef with Miss Sally? Actually, I heard a piece of this on. I was listening to like the last episode you guys put out. Who is this and what's going on? Just fill me in. Cliff notes.
All right. This is where we reveal Miss Sally's secrets.
Yes, yes.
Miss Sally is the only other person on this road with a podcast who we have a personal vendetta with.
So it's real beef then.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think in the first episode, first or second episode, I made I made a fictitious like podcast rival where I was like, okay, the second episode I was like, yo, dog, John, dude, we are the #1 podcast in Fort Myers.
That's great.
In your neighborhood on this particular street that you live on. If you look at that, we're the #1 fucking podcast.
Yeah,
next to Miss Sally's
Next to
gardening
Mrs. Sally's gardening fucking podcast that's been going on.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
So
tight.
we kind of kept the.
I feel you. That's great. You definitely should make shirts.
Yeah.
Because
I think you had a little like logo where it just says like Miss Sally's gardening podcast, and you just like
cross out Miss Sally and just put John's closet.
John's closet. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
literally
fire.
my
Dude, you got the good branding ideas. Now we got Closet Warriors too. John's got the ideas. Yo, shout out to our Closet Warriors, whatever. Thank you for supporting John's
I mean, you guys
Closet.
got to generate income before you sell out, so you got to make these
Yeah. People got to buy in before you sell out.
for sure.
Yeah. That's all about that. But all right, let's get into some questions.
For sure, man.
Oh boy.
Let's do it. So Andre Desaint, rapper,
Yes.
DJ, producer,
Somewhat.
Renaissance man.
Yeah.
Renaissance man, triple
Damn.
threat.
That's intense.
Yes. So
Yeah.
tell me, what was the start of your relationship with rap music or just music in general?
Music in general is definitely reggae. Like I said earlier, I lived in Jamaica for about 10 years as a kid.
Oh wow.
And it was definitely a lot of reggae shit. I didn't get introduced to rap until we got cable, which was wildly late in life.
Wow.
Yeah, so I remember my uncle would just listen to like Big Daddy Kane and all that shit when I was super young, probably like 5 or 6.
Mhm.
And to put it in perspective, this was like in the 90s. Big Daddy Kane's from the 80s, so
Right.
he was late,
Right.
but he was still catching up. So I was hearing that shit thinking it was new, but it wasn't.
Right.
So when I finally was able to, move back to the States for good, Jay-Z was like the guy. Like, we lived in New York and shit, and
Oh yeah.
That was like
in Queens.
yeah,
Right,
Queens,
right.
yeah. That's what it was all about. It was just Jay-Z. You know, he's from New York. He was from Brooklyn, but everybody in New York like felt like he was the hometown hero. They
Right.
played his shit on the radio all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I just heard a Jay-Z song for the first time on the radio and looked up the lyrics, printed it out. It's been my thing since.
Yeah. So Jay-Z was the main artist that made you want to explore the rap genre
1,000%.
a little bit
Yeah.
further.
I mean, as far as just
Yeah.
rapping, I wouldn't say he's had much influence on like anything else for me, but
Mhm.
from a rap standpoint, actually, no, he's like hella cool.
Yeah, like. See, the thing about Jay-Z, like, I'm not like I haven't listened to that many Jay-Z like albums or whatever.
Yeah,
I've only listened to like songs and stuff like that. Also, all
his
his
popular stuff.
all his stuff is on Tidal. So I don't have Tidal, so I
Yeah.
can't actually listen to it.
Yeah, pre-title Jay-Z
pre-title.
was fun, but
Yeah,
it's tough now because I'm like,
Yeah, because I already had Spotify. I had the student discount, and I've been using it for a while. I'm like, well, damn. I want
Yeah.
to listen to Jay-Z. I wanted to listen to 444. Didn't have so I gotta. And then I would listen to all his songs on YouTube. Like, damn, this album's so fucking good.
yeah, it's tough, man. That whole streaming war shit is kind of ruining music, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a Spotify guy too, so
Yeah.
I mean, unless somebody else is like willing to cut the check, I'm
Yeah.
fine with switching.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, I'm so ready to switch over to. Yo, I will bend my back for anybody who wants to fuck me.
Yeah, if you want to make me an Apple Music exclusive
Yeah,
artist,
yeah,
I'm with
yeah,
it. You
yeah.
know, Spotify is not that great in that case, but
Yeah, it's like, yo, man, put this wig on. Like, why? I want to hold their hair as a fucking. Yeah, take it. It's like, thank you, Apple. But what was the rap album that really made you like kind of shape your personal taste in the rap genre? If it wasn't, if Jay-Z was the one who like broke you in, like what was the rap album like? Yo, I want to take this shit like seriously. I want to rap.
So not as far as like how I rap, but I
okay.
remember when I heard the Marshall Mathers LP. That's like when I got a notebook out. I was like, okay, this dude is
like, yeah,
he's on some other shit,
Right.
and it doesn't even make sense how these words are formulating
Right.
and coming together and shit. So like a real nerd, I got a notebook and I wrote out like all the Eminem songs. I would just like write it out. I was trying to figure out how he was doing it. I figured.
Oh, you would like transcribe the lyrics.
Yeah. I was like writing like
that's some hard shit.
Writing
the way
words
he raps too.
Yeah,
like,
and fucking pausing my cassette tape and all that shit. And so I was writing it out, and then that's kind of how I learned how.
Hold on, just for the millennials out there, can you describe what a cassette tape is?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, post millennials.
Post
millennials, because a lot of post millennials just pause the podcast. It's like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, what is that?
A cassette?
Yeah. No, it's the cassettes were like where it was at because I don't even know, man. It's just a weird medium. It was actually pretty terrible in hindsight, just because I think any type of media that had the ability to be ruined, like cassettes were.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It was just trash. It was so easy to fuck those up.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can get a 10-pack for like $5 from BJ's, which is what I would do, and I would just sit at the radio all day, record shit. And I lived, like I said, I lived in New York, so Hot 97 would have like rappers on late night just freestyling.
You're right.
That was what it was about for me. But yeah, man. So hearing that Eminem album, I would just sit there and write shit out, and then visually I was able to kind of figure out not how he did what he did. No, nobody will ever be that good to me. But just the way that he flowed from one bar to the next. Yeah. And, that's when I realized, like, all right, this dude he's measuring shit out.
Right.
Because to me, he was the only one doing it.
Right.
Now that I know better, it's like a little different. But that's when I figured, like, okay, now that there's 16 lines in this verse, so 16 bars in a verse, shit like that. Hooks had eight bars or whatever. So that was kind of how I got into it, the technicalities of it. And wanting to make a song.
Yeah,
so.
that's that's so cool to hear that, because like that I don't know anybody else who in a genre where it's like massively populated by a certain race of people, for him to not only come in, like Eminem could still be a great person if only white people fucked with him and he was still good, but black people also fucked with him, and he also had Dr. Dre, 50 Cent was on them. He had people, and Snoop Dogg, whatever.
He had the right people.
He had
sure.
the right people who also supported him and saying, no, he's legit. You should fuck with him. So black and white people both came in to support Eminem, and everybody was influenced by him.
Yeah.
Despite him being a clear outsider, he's from Detroit. He's blonde.
Yeah.
he looks like he's just always sick. He's just like ghastly looking and shit.
But the crazy thing is, like, I think people figured that he wasn't going to be anything like them. Like black people would see Eminem and be like, he's nothing like us. But then you find out that he lived a fucked up life. He was in a trailer park and like, came from poverty and all that stuff and drugs and whatever the fuck, all had just a lot of similar, like a lot of parallels in his life to what people went through. And I think that made people relate to him a little bit. Like, you don't necessarily understand what he's talking about when it comes to the hard drugs that he did and all that stuff, but the fact that he went through the same type of
like struggle like a black person, and it didn't come off as corny too.
Exactly.
Right, and he wasn't like talking about the same things that a lot of other artists at the time.
I still have no idea what some of the shit that he was talking about. I've never lived that life, so
I was like, yo. Like one to kill my mom.
He raped his mom on the first fucking song of Marshall Mathers.
It's
LP.
like, whoa!
Yeah, I was like, I don't know about that, bro, but these bars are fire.
These bars are fire, man. I'm still sticking with it, man. So tell me, what's the story behind your rap name? So your real name is Andre.
Yeah,
right?
My real name is Andre. I'm not gonna say my full real name just in case I get really famous one day.
Yeah, that's
actually,
true.
That doesn't matter because I'll have a Wikipedia. But it doesn't matter for the story, regardless.
Yeah. So story behind your rap name, Andre Desaint.
Yeah. So my middle name is I'm named after one of the saints. There's like Saint. I don't know, fucking Nicholas and all those people. Yeah. So I just thought it would be really cool to have my rap name sound like I was saying Andre the Saint, but I also wanted it not to be Andre the Saint because that's really lame. Like I would never listen to a rapper named Andre the Saint.
Right.
So I just try to make it. My first name is derived from French, like Desaint. So I try to make the last name look the same as far as French goes.
Low key, because I had to Google you a little bit earlier because I don't think I've seen you perform anywhere yet. Sydney was the one that was like, we're having Andre Desaint. I'm like, man, I should at least look up who this guy is.
Yeah.
And I think originally I was like, is it Andre Desaint or is it Andre the Saint?
Yeah.
And I googled Andre the Saint and I found like some like
that was
hardcore
totally
Catholic
wait that was totally your white side coming out. John's half Dominican and half white. I was like, is it Andre the Saint or Andre the Saint?
What did you find when you searched Andre the Saint?
I found literal like pictures of saints.
That's so tight.
I would have loved for you to be like, yo, so now I don't know about this guest, Andre the Saint. Like, what do you mean? Like,
would he happen to be like Catholic? Like hardcore Catholic? I don't think he's ready for our podcast.
Yeah.
You know, he had that like little round symbol, like yellow glow around him all the time.
Yo, funny enough, I went to Catholic school for like 4 years.
Really?
I'm not like Catholic at all, but
Right.
at the time we were living in New York, and my parents just felt like that was the best thing for me for whatever reason, keep me out of trouble. But Catholics, at least the Catholics at that school, did not fuck with the fact that I was not Catholic. Like that we went to, they had mass every Thursday,
Right.
You know, or church for people that aren't Catholic and don't know.
Yeah.
But I was actually, I had to sit in the back like while we went. Like I wasn't allowed to participate in anything.
Some Rosa Parks shit.
Bro, it was weird. Like they were just like, all right, you know, we're gonna go up there, just sit back here. We'll be done soon or whatever. And I'm watching all these kids like do confession and all that stuff. But I just think that that's like crazy to have a kid just like completely excluded from, and it's actually kind of anti like
the part of the point of the religion.
I was just like, this is
Include
mad
everybody.
weird. Like my parents, it was private school too. Like my parents paid the same amount of money that these kids' parents paid.
You had
like,
to sit all the way in the back.
bro, yeah, it was wild, and it was dark back there. Like the light didn't even
wow,
get,
so they can't even see you.
It was
back
mad
there.
strange, but
wow.
yeah, I would just like listen to 50 Cent and shit, like you know,
in the
back.
club.
Yeah, this is like this is back when he was
Candy
like still
shop.
rapping on other people's shit. This is like
Okay, like mixtape.
yeah, when he was doing like DJ Who Could mixtapes and shit. Yeah, it's just, it was weird.
That's so funny.
I don't think I've ever like talked about that like publicly, but it was a strange time.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. You know, normally sitting in the back is normally like viewed as a bad thing or whatever, but I'm not gonna lie, sitting in the back of the bus and going to school or whatever, that was where all the cool people were, like, you get away with it, you can say a whole bunch of shit and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, clearly listen to music and shit.
I had a very different experience with the back of the bus.
Yeah. Where motherfuckers like pick on you and shit. And like,
Man, well, when I was in 6th grade,
right,
you know, in middle school, like all the 8th graders sat in the back of the bus.
Oh.
And
so like, bring that ass here, boy. Like that DC Young Fly. Boy.
So, you know, middle school was some weird times. I don't regret it though, because, you know, I feel like it made me a better person in the long run.
What the fuck did you get into, bro? This sounds mad intense.
Oh no, like this is literally like stereotypical, like I was the chubby kid in middle school that got picked on by all the bigger kids, and it was just like, and it would just last all year. Looking back on it, it wasn't actually that bad, but because it's middle school, it's like it's one of those things where like it was bad for me at the time.
Yeah, everything's heightened at that age too.
Yeah, because it's a new experience.
You're growing emotionally, and your brain's still developing and shit like that, right?
But I also feel like if I didn't go through that experience, like I would be experiencing that now.
Yeah.
You know, because you like, what was it, Chris Rock?
Right.
That said, you know, kids should be bullied.
Yeah,
you should bring bullies back.
Yeah.
It teaches kids how to deal with assholes.
Yeah, like real life situations.
Yeah, and he was like, and when a big bully comes through, like Trump, we don't know how to deal with it. Just bullies the fuck out of it. It's like, I'm gonna build a wall. Oh, this is a terrible Trump.
Was that a recent Chris Rock thing, or was that like back?
I think, what was it?
I think it was Tambourine.
Did it come out? When did that come out? Earlier this year or last year?
No, that was this year.
I think Tambourine was this year. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
but for
pretty
some,
sure.
that sounds like some classic Chris Rock shit.
Yeah. It might be. I'm pretty sure it came out on Tambourine. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did.
So
yeah. But I meant to ask you more, like, okay, because I know a lot of people who do music, whatever. They don't normally have like 1,000 rap names before they actually. What were some earlier rap names? Was it Andre the fucking Saint? Or
No, actually, before Andre the Saint, it was just Andre.
Just Andre.
Yeah, and
Andre 1000.
Bro, you have no idea how many jokes like that I've dealt with.
I'm sure.
It was
super
trash in high school. But the problem with that was that if you Google Andre, like the fucking movie about the seal comes up before anything.
Seal?
Bro, you've never seen Andre, the movie about the seal? Andre?
No.
Dude.
Wait, do you know this movie?
I'm not following here.
Bro, it's a classic. It's actually a nice movie, but it's about this seal that I forget. I think it was like
Is it an animated movie?
Nah, bro, it's like Free Willy Jr. basically.
Oh.
I guess he was in
God
captivity and then he became like friends with this kid or whatever. But anyway, the seal's name was Andre.
Goddamn seal will come up.
Yeah, before my shit. But this is before like the internet mattered like that. You know what I mean? People weren't getting famous from the internet at the time.
Right.
I was super young. I was 13, 14. So I thought it was tight, and I'm like, yeah, this is the real me, like, but then I realized like it's just not gonna work. There's like Spotify started coming into play and shit. So that's when I decided to make it something that if you searched, you would find me. You
know the movie Finding Nemo, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. My name's Sydney, right? So during that movie, one of the famous quotes, one of the famous lines is 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney, right? And I think it came out, 2003, 2004, so I think I was in elementary school or some shit.
Yeah,
right?
it came out around the same time as
Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Every time I said my name, what's your name? Sydney. 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. Like, are you from the movie? Have you ever been to Australia and whatever? I was like, oh, so I felt that when you were like, when I said Andre did that 1,000, I'm like, oh my gosh! Like, did you know Sydney? Did you know Sydney is a girl's name? I was like, oh my gosh.
That's a very unisex name though.
Now, yeah. Dude,
I feel like it's always been.
Dude, on Twitter, I had a dude who's like, yo, man, did you know that your name's a girl's name? I was like, bruh, like,
he must have been trying to be funny, but it's funny. Like when you said 2003, 2004 about Finding Nemo, my first thought was like, oh yeah, that's when the Black Album came out. I remember that. Like,
Jay-Z's Black Album.
Yeah, I can I can name eras of my life through Jay-Z releases.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about music. Like you can like you can categorize it through the music or the albums that
or what was out that time. Like it's funny how that happens.
Bro, every black, white, Hispanic kid, Asian, I don't care what the fuck you were emo during the Linkin Park, and you hated your parents just a little bit. Linkin Park, My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boys.
I definitely locked the door and listened to Hybrid Theory a few times.
Yeah, it's like,
oh my god.
Yeah.
I did listen to Hybrid Theory recently.
Did it age
recently?
Yeah, no, like, I mean, like, I knew all the tracks and everything, but, like, this is the first time that I actually sat down and listened to the entire album, like, from
and it probably made a lot more sense now, huh?
Right.
Like,
how was it? Like,
it still stands up, but it's like, it's very weird because, like, at any time I'm listening to an album, I'm always thinking, like, how does this matter in the context of, like, what's being pushed the most right now?
Right.
Like, for example, like, like in the 2000s, sort of in the late 2000s, you saw this like post-hardcore, new metal, Linkin Park, My Chemical Romance, pop punk, sort of like rebirth. You know, you probably kicked off with like, I don't know, like American Idiot or something, or something.
I could have sworn Hybrid Theory that's the first Linkin Park album because that went like 10 times platinum or something. Yeah,
because that came out in 2000 and then Meteora came out in 2003.
Yeah, something like that.
But basically, like, I noticed that it was on that rise. Like, it was rising in the early 2000s. Like, Muse came out with Origin of Symmetry. I think that's what this album's called. And that came out in like 1999. Foo Fighters were coming up again.
Foo Fighters,
Pretender was coming out, and so you had all this rock music kind of taking over.
Yeah, that's true. I do remember that.
It snuck through the mainstream a lot, and it even crept into rap. Fucking Collision Course with Linkin Park and Jay-Z.
Oh yeah,
that was crazy. You know what I mean? Like hearing fucking Dirt Off Your Shoulders on like gritty electric guitar was nuts. But yeah, that was a big thing. I remember, especially after like 99 Problems came out by Jay-Z. That was like everybody wanted to rap on like a pseudo rock beat, which was trash. But
and then what was also interesting was like for the longest time, also during that, there were all the like the Crunk Goes Punk or whatever albums, or Pop Goes Punk.
Pop goes punk. What do you mean?
Like you had a bunch of like post-hardcore bands that would do covers of mainstream like pop and rap songs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you
Like
mean.
you know,
I'm not familiar with that. Like who?
The taste of your lips, I wanna burn.
because
Are you talking about like Alien Ant Farm, like doing Smooth Criminal and shit like that?
basically,
Okay.
Right.
but like they took someone did like Black and Yellow. They like there's
By
this
Wiz
dude-
Khalifa, right?
What?
Yeah, someone did a metal cover of Black and Yellow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Black and Yellow.
And the reason I knew this dude was because he was doing covers of Bring Me the Horizon songs, and then he was like, oh yeah, by the way, my band released a Black and Yellow cover.
Right.
And like. And
That's
then
when you know that like that genre, that wave in music was about to like.
Yeah.
go
Oh no,
down.
like well, even with Usher with
Right.
DJ's Got Us Falling in Love, there was a cover of that by
Mm.
I think the band was called Chasing After May.
Mm-hmm.
And
They made a heavy metal song of an Usher song.
Yeah,
Ugh.
That's so oxymoron.
Ugh.
you know,
Yo, there's actually that still happens though because
Yeah,
last
for
year
sure.
when Uzi's EXO tour life.
Oh,
got
I'm
really
sure
big.
mad metal.
No,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
actually an excellent metal cover of
Is
it
there?
because
by-
that song
God.
has a very rock vibe to it.
It
like
does.
the
Yeah.
lyrics and just the cadence.
I'm
and
trying to remember the
the
band
groove.
that does that.
They made they had a video that
Yeah.
went real big too
Yeah.
for
That's
that.
good. It's
It's
So,
gonna
good.
bother me if I don't Google this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you
he,
probably
you know, Little Uzi Vert also proclaims himself as a rock star too. So it kind
Yeah.
of makes sense.
but a lot of people do. I mean, a lot of people do.
That's a new. Do you call yourself a rock star or a rapper?
No, I
No,
mean,
you don't
yeah,
fuck with
not
that.
at all. I don't really fuck with the whole rock star thing because
Yeah.
I think it's just like it's a cop out, you know, like
Yeah,
and
right.
not necessarily about Uzi because I actually do think that Uzi is a rock star,
Right.
like, you know, but I think that a lot of people bring that up when their rap skills are challenged, you know. It's like,
right.
yeah, you know, how do you feel about people saying you're not lyrical? It's like, I don't give a fuck about rap. I'm a rock star.
I'm a rock star,
That's
man.
like-
yeah.
That's usually the way that conversation deviates. So I
Mm.
I just kind of like roll my eyes and write it off a lot of times when I hear it. But
Yeah.
people like Uzi, people like Travis Scott, like those dudes fucking rage.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? So,
yeah.
like,
When you go to the concert, it doesn't feel like a rap show. It,
Yeah.
it does feel
Yeah.
like motherfuckers are mosh
Tyler,
pitting
the
and going
Creator,
crazy. Tyler
like-
Creator.
Oh yeah.
so that if any of those dudes say they're a rock
Yeah.
star, I'm cool with it. But
Yeah.
when it's fucking like, I don't want to name any names, but like when it's dudes that are just lazy rapping, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to like go to that route when somebody challenges your rap skills.
Mhm.
Just say you swag rap, bro. Like that's a cool thing now.
Yeah. Hide it in my sock. Woo. Chasing on the block.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Skirt. I do like Magnolia by Playboy Cardi.
Cardi
Cardi.
snaps. Have you heard his new album, Die Lit?
I heard it's not that bad.
No, it's great, bro.
It's great?
Like from like a standpoint of I don't know, man. He just has a knack, bro. He has a
Yeah.
thing that he does, and he's really fucking good at it. And when
Yeah.
other people try to do it, you know that they're trying to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's doing
definitely-
this new thing too, where he's like pitching up his voice,
Oh.
which is a I don't know. That's like an unexplored avenue in rap. People don't usually pitch their
Lord
voices up.
Quaz would do that a
True.
lot. Yeah. Madlib. But besides Madlib, I've never even like normal people pitch their voice down.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
Right,
I'm saying. So
right.
like when I first heard it, I was like, "Is this Cardi?" Like,
Yeah.
but there's some songs where I'm like, you know, they really found a good pocket by pitching up his voice, and the beats are obviously crafted more
Yeah.
towards that too. I would check it out, man. It's good.
Mm.
His song "R.I.P." is like the hardest song out right now.
Ooh, yeah, I definitely gotta check that out.
Yeah.
So why do you feel like rap artists have to be so multifaceted? Like, why do you feel like? Because back in the day, right, for traditional like, or at least old school, it used to be rappers right here, producers right here,
Yeah.
DJs right here, right?
Yeah.
It'd be some rare instances where like there'd be a rapper / producer who could kind of DJ or whatever, but like normally they were more separated. But nowadays, like, yeah, and also singers or whatever, singers over here. But nowadays, like, motherfuckers are a rapper, a singer, producer, and he can also DJ. Like, do
Yeah.
you feel like it's just and I also feel like Kanye kind of started this wave, right? Because I feel like he was the
Probably pretty
first
accurate.
producer, right? Who's mainly first known as producer, and I feel like if you ask, everybody like what's Kanye's main ability skill would be probably producing, but like he was the first dude who was producer first, and then he just managed to break through and become the best rapper
Yeah.
for several
I mean,
years.
I would challenge that and say Dr. Dre is probably the first of that ilk.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
But also I think everybody knew that Dr. Dre wasn't writing his own rap. So that
Right.
that kind of like
Yeah,
that
it's
takes
kinda
away from it
right.
a little bit. But I think the reason why that is now, why people have to be multifaceted is accessibility. Like you
Right.
don't have an excuse now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if you're not doing all that shit, then you're just allowing everybody else to do it. You know what I mean? Like, as far as DJing, I think a big part of that is like money. A lot of these rappers will get offered to, yo, you should come out and do a DJ set. We'll pay you this much, which is not nearly as much as they'll get for performing, but it's money and they don't have to do much, And like even to be real, I don't necessarily consider myself a DJ.
Right.
Like I know how to blend songs. I know how to make people have a good time.
Right.
Even before I started DJing or whatever, I would always be the guy at the party like, yo, let me make a playlist real quick. Like I just always like.
That's what I do.
Yeah, bro. That's how it starts though. I would
Right,
and then the weirder thing is I would find myself like, oh, I know this song is coming up next. Like people are gonna fuck with it, and I would like sit in the corner and be like,
you wait.
I'm waiting for people to get excited.
I do that same thing. Like I'm like, I'll actually think about like, okay, what would be the most logical song that should go after this, and after this, and after this. But I think that kind of stems from I just even at an early age, the way I always saw music or whatever, at least amongst my friends, because back in the day you could actually share the albums that you purchased on iTunes or whatever. So me and say one of my friends would buy an album or whatever, then he would share it with me, and I also had the album, and then vice versa or whatever. So I thought, okay, if I like one song, right, an entire album, why would I just not buy the album and then I have a whole album worth of songs that I like? And then I might even like other songs as well. So I thought that's the way that you're supposed to listen to music, even at a young age. I'm like, you're supposed to listen to albums. So I've kind of always had that instilled. So whenever I do like a playlist or whatever, I have mad range of different songs instead of just like the most popular single.
Yeah, for sure. I like I like throwing sleepers on there. Like one of my biggest things when I'm like DJing is I get more of a kick out of somebody coming up to be like, yo, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, that's
and then
good.
being like, I gotta go listen to this when I get home. Other than as opposed to them being like, oh, this is my shit. I listen to this all the time.
Right.
I'm like, all right, cool. Like you need that too, like to have a successful event or whatever.
Right.
But nothing makes me more excited than when people are like, yo, what is this? I need to like go home and look it up, especially when it's my shit. When I play my shit in a DJ set.
Yeah.
Well, in that sort of respect, just kind of on the first point of like, whether or not you consider yourself a DJ, I feel like I feel like it's very easy for you to come up to a venue and almost basically like, and I know this isn't what DJing is about, but someone could make an hour-long playlist pre-mixed in Ableton,
Right.
hit spacebar, and
Right.
that's their set for the whole night,
Right.
Yeah.
and they could get away with that.
And I like the fact that you respect it. Like, yo, I'm not a DJ because you know what actually goes and entails.
Yeah, bro. Like
yeah.
you spend like a half an hour or less watching Griff Gotti. You know who that is? He's a DJ around here. Probably to me the best DJ
Right.
I've ever had the pleasure of like witnessing live. But I just can't in my right mind stand next to that guy and say we do the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
like so that's just a level of respect that I have for people that have put decades into the craft. And
yeah.
I know how to fucking make a great playlist and make people have fun, but
Yeah.
I would feel some type of way if I were in his position and somebody came up and was like, yeah, I DJ too, bro. Like, check me out. You know?
Yeah.
No.
So how do you? Oh, I'm sorry. You had a.
No, I was just gonna say like, so when you DJ, it's basically just typical like beat matching, and just kind of cue up the songs when it like how it's like what exactly is kind of like.
So I mean for the most part, but I do have a little bit of fun with it too. You know, there's for me as a music nerd, I know a lot of the stories behind certain songs. You know, so like. There's times where I'll blend two songs where I did that because the same person wrote those two songs and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And maybe I'm the only person that notices it, you know, but like whatever, that's fine with me. Or like recently, there's been a huge surgence of 3 6 Mafia remakes, and a lot of people don't know the original songs.
Right.
So I'm like, you know, if I'm gonna play,
I think Cardi B had a
like Cardi B did song. She has a song called Baconhead.
Yeah, Baconhead.
And people don't know the song Chickenhead. So like the first time I ever played that song, I played Chickenhead first, and people kind of got hyped when they heard the sample, and they're like, wait, this isn't Cardi B, and then I mixed in Cardi B version. So it's like for me, I just enjoy shit like that, and you know, sometimes it's not as obvious, but yeah, I like doing little things like that just for the music nerd in me, and I try to make it to where the people that know, but the people that don't know can still have a good time.
Right.
So
No, I'm also aware that like some of the more like technical DJs out there, the ones that are like full blown, like they'll have 4 different turntables.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I imagine like they have 1 or 2 dedicated to drum loops.
Yeah,
and then others,
instrumentals and shit.
Yeah. So like, do you see yourself kind of getting to that level, or are you more focused on, say, more of the rap hip hop element?
I definitely would like to, for sure, because there's times where I've heard DJ mixes that inspire me to learn certain things. You guys know who DJ Green Lantern is?
Damn, that name's familiar.
He was like super popping in like the late 90s, early 2000s. He actually he was G Unit's DJ for a while.
Really?
And he did some shady shit, I guess.
Oh,
no pun intended. And and got kicked off their tour or whatever.
Right.
But anyway, he has these mixtapes that were fucking crazy. And he would put like he would play a song, and then halfway through the beat would drop, and then he'd put in another beat on that same song, and then you'd hear like the beat that he switched into, that song would start playing later on, and it was like this perfect blend.
Right.
I'm like, how the fuck is he doing this?
Like some Jay Dilla shit.
Yeah. But with like super duper gangster rap, and sometimes he got big enough to where he would have rappers come in and do verses that you couldn't hear anywhere else in the middle of his DJ mixes. Right. So like shit like that really inspires me. I really like want to make some Green Lantern type of shit one day. That's probably like my biggest DJ goal, is to make some shit like the tapes that he used to make. Cause Jesus, or like DJ Drama. DJ Drama had like the Gangsta Girls series, which is a whole nother art form. And I actually didn't know this when I first started listening to Gangsta Girls, but I guess his process is that he picks all the beats and then he brings it to that artist and just says, "Hey, rap on all these." Which I thought they just like did a bunch of freestyles.
So it's all like original shit.
No, it's not always original. Sometimes he's like, if you listen to like some Gangster Girls, like Wayne is rapping on other people's beats and stuff.
Right.
But it's DJ Drama that says, "I want you to rap on this. I'm gonna mix it this way or whatever."
Okay.
I didn't realize how much of the curating of the actual mixtape he was involved in. And I think I must have watched an interview with him or something where I was like, fuck, like I had to go back and re-listen to it because it was a whole nother perspective,
So let me ask you something. So with DJing or whatever, like, so you're in front of a group of people or whatever, you normally will do your Trap Caviar and Nice Guys Pizza. I don't know what other venues that you
That's my only recurring event right now.
Right.
That's like the thing that I've always wanted to do as far as DJing goes. So that's the only thing I have going right now.
Yeah. So how do you properly read a crowd when you're playing the songs, and how do you like respond with the right way according to how they're feeling to the music?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely try to pick up on what's going on in the room. I think I made that mistake the first couple times I had a DJ set
for not picking it up.
Yeah. I coming from a background of just wanting to put people on to cool shit, I was like,
this is dope shit.
Yeah, this is dope shit.
Yeah.
Y'all
goddamn white people, you don't know what you talking about. You don't know what you're hearing. So reggaeton.
You got Jessica in the middle of the crowd, super drunk and wasted, like when are they gonna put on my fucking jam?
Oh my god.
Play Pitbull.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so
who's this dreaded dude talking about freedom and redemption? Oh my god.
So I came from that with playing shit at parties and stuff like that, and my first 2 DJ sets at home, I was just like, all right, I got these 50 songs,
right.
I'm gonna play them,
right? And
then halfway through, I'm like, man, people like aren't fucking with this at all.
Yeah.
But I don't have a plan B,
You didn't have like a failsafe.
Yeah, at all. I was just like, I had to and it probably wasn't even as bad as I thought it was, but I had to painfully get through the rest of my set while looking at them and not giving a fuck.
Not giving a fuck. It's like, damn.
So I stopped doing that shit completely. I was just like, and it's not like I don't like some of the stuff that I play. I like everything. There's some shit that I will not play. I don't give a fuck who wants to hear it or whatever. Like, I will not play it if I truly don't fuck with it. Especially like a Trap Caviar. Trap Caviar has a heart and soul to it. There's something. There's a
very specific like type of music. So if you don't fuck with the music, like just don't even
it's just not for you. It's just not an event for you. So, but yeah, it's definitely. I forget like the original question. What was the original question?
I was saying like how do you properly respond to?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I just try to figure out what's the best thing to do. Sometimes you really just gotta fucking make a hard stop and go all the way the next direction, because it might be awkward for that 5 seconds, but if you get them to start jamming, especially if they're drunk,
they're forgetful. They're like, yeah.
They're just like, oh hell yeah, this is my shit, you know. And then you follow it up with the next banger, and it's all good. So it's just about humbling yourself, I think, and not thinking that you shouldn't give a fuck what they want to hear.
Right. And I think that's hard sometimes. I was like, I think it even extends to like when you're with your homies in a car or whatever, and you play a song. They're like, yo, man, hey, yo, hand me the iPhone, hand me the thing, yo, I'm gonna play some good shit. You play it up, and your homies are not responding to it.
They roast you.
Like, who the fuck played this bullshit?
Yeah, that's the worst. That for sure is the worst, because you lose the aux privilege for like a couple rides.
It's like, yo, dog, give me this.
You mean that I can't blast Slipknot for all of my friends in my SUV?
Right. That's exactly right.
Yo, what the worst too is it's even worse, another level to it, when everybody in the car raps. Right. Because if you play some rap shit that's trash, not only is your taste in music challenged, but then your rap skills are immediately challenged too. Like, you know,
has that happened to you before? You're with your homies,
fuck yeah, my homie,
like, yo, man, check this shit out, man.
My homie Mouth, bro, like he we used to always kind of just challenge each other on rap shit for sure. Right. We always had like a rap competition and shit, but like he would play shit that I really wasn't fucking with, like.
Yeah.
For instance, he really liked Saigon. You know who Saigon is?
Saigon.
He's actually more popular for being in the show Entourage than he is for his rap. But you know that show, right?
Yeah, I know Entourage, but I don't know Saigon.
So you're not missing anything.
Yeah. Like, yo, shout out to Andre's friend, man.
Shots fired.
So
he still remembers.
Mouth was like a avid Saigon listener, right. And anytime he put Saigon on, I was like, this is trash, bro. Like, so it went into like me saying that it was terrible, and then floated over into me then being like, you like this because you're trash at rap. You know what I mean? Like, so it would go. I don't actually think he's trash at rap at all. That's my boy. We've made like millions of songs together. But that's kind of how it's just another level of like disrespect when everybody in the car raps. Like, you put some trash on, not only do what you listen to is trash, but now your raps are whack. Like, it's just funny how that works.
It's so true. So Fist Fight. It was probably the first song that I actually heard, because when I think I initially saw you, was at Nice Guys Pizza, right, for your Trap Caviar, right, and then I would continuously see you at Nice Guys Pizza or whatever, or maybe I'd even just run into you when you weren't even playing or whatever. I was like, oh, this dude, like, because my first impression, right, because I never went to a DJ set, right, where they were literally, like, you were the first person who I saw who's just literally playing shit I've been listening to for the past 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And I was going, like, when I first was there, and I was going crazy.
Yeah, I actually remember. I think I played, like, the last straw was I played some Gold Link, and you just had to come up and be like, yo, bro.
Yeah. That was good.
Shit.
Good shit. I had to because, like, you know, normally most of the time when I go out to a bar or a venue or whatever, like when the DJ, like, it's normally like it'd be cool, like, I don't mind it, but it's not anything I particularly listen to.
Yeah,
and I almost felt like, has this dude been, like, watching my Spotify? I was so puzzled. Like, literally, he was playing, like, every single album I was listening to.
You just found the main character jacket playlist.
Yeah, and that's why I fuck with Nice Guys too, because they've really allowed me to just play what I want to play.
Yeah,
they don't give me any direction. Like, the first couple times I DJ there, I'm like, so what do you want me to play tonight? And they're like, bro, do whatever the fuck you think is good. Like, you know, and that type of trust is really good for anybody creative. So
So Fist Fight was probably the first song I actually heard from you. I was like, oh, he DJs. He also is a rapper. At least from my impression, like, back then.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's good when one thing introduces somebody to the other. So
I'm
so
cool.
with that.
Yeah. I think that happens with a lot. Like, some. I know Brilliant Idiots, right? When I listen to Brilliant Idiots, you know, Andrew Schultz, he been a stand-up comic, but people got introduced to his stand-up comedy through his podcast. You know, he was doing stand-up way longer, and he identifies himself as stand-up. So it's nice to have different.
And that doubled back to what you said earlier. Maybe that's why people are wanting to be multifaceted, because it's like, if I don't get them while I'm, you know, doing this comedy sketch, maybe I'll get them when I'm dancing on Instagram or whatever the fuck, you know. And then there's a lot of people that bring in fans from one avenue to the other, and I think that's to add back to that, that's why it's so important to do more than one
Yeah,
thing.
you like John's Closet podcast? John is also a producer.
Exactly. Yeah.
Low key, yeah.
Lay down your tracks.
If you want tracks, if you want to add to my portfolio, I can do that.
Also, if you need some tutoring help, he's also pretty good at math too.
Yeah, no, actually, you know what? This episode of John's Closet, it's sponsored by John's Tutoring Service. I have a master's in math. I can teach you literally anything you want to know about math.
Yep.
You know, aside from like super advanced machine learning or some shit like that.
Fun fact, I was actually like crazy good at math in school. Like I was like
really
on the traveling math team and shit.
Damn, Andre the nerd.
It was wild. Yeah, yeah. My parents are Jamaican, bro. Like you can't get away with not being good at fucking something. So yeah, man. It was crazy, and it was wild too because I was already rapping.
I hope you know that I have like a really warm place in my heart right now.
Yeah, because like John kind of orgasmed a little bit. It's like, yeah, I was on the math traveling team. I was like,
no, but like. No, because you know, teaching math to hundreds of college students that are like, when are we ever going to use this? Why is this? Why am I learning this? This is so pointless. No. It's
not, bro. It's helped me so much. Like, I consider my creativity very systematic, and you know, just strategic. You know, like there's things that I do that I know for sure if it wasn't like for honing in on my math skills, I wouldn't be able to think of it the way that I think of it. You know, I wouldn't be able to grid my thoughts out that way. So you can look at it like it's pointless, but honestly, it's like it works out a part of your brain that not many other things can.
Yeah. I mean, this is even like a science behind it. Like people who are into math or whatever, like certain areas of your brain starts to light up or whatever. And your brain is a complicated system, so you want to use every part of your brain that you possibly can. And you only have certain subjects and certain things you can do that can actually super work out that part of their brain.
Yeah,
so.
For sure. Yeah. So I definitely like if there's anything I could say to kids and shit that think that it's pointless, it's like just fucking do it and you'll figure out why you're doing it later. For sure. Just do the best you can with it. So
just do it.
But so
yeah. So what's the story behind the song Fist Fight? So you were willing to fist fight a motherfucker over some pussy.
Yeah.
Is there an actual story behind this? I'm very did you literally fight a motherfucker over your girl? Or
nah, that's not my style, man. Okay. But this song, I heard the beat first. Ryan Laser made the beat.
Right.
He sent it to me and I was like, man, this is fucking aggressive. Like it's aggressive, but it also like it doesn't have like a true snare too, which is crazy because usually the snare is like the driving part of aggression in rap songs at least. So I was like, fuck, like how did he make this beat so hard without like
and you just kind of had to match the energy.
Yeah. And so as I'm writing it, it's just like the first thing that came to my mind, and it's just like an outlandish thing to say is like your pussy's so good I'm gonna start a fist fight. Like it's like you might just break out and punch somebody. Like I just think that it's hilarious. To me at least I thought it was super funny. And
I'm just imagining someone like right at the brink of orgasm just like stop midway, like go to the bathroom and just punch the mirror and just like glass.
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
Like, but yeah, man, it's just I don't know. I guess it's the juxtaposition of those two situations, which have nothing to do with each other.
Right.
Is just funny to me, and that's really where the idea started. And then, of course, sonically, it sounds fucking great.
Yeah, I like the song. I was like, wow, this dude's pretty good. Like, I like it.
Yeah, thank you, man. But yeah, it was just it's no specific story. I mean,
I was hoping that I was like, because I'm like, because it was so outlandish. I'm like, all right, there's got to be some truth to it.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I will say like the girl I'm with now is the girl that I was with when I wrote that song. So,
okay. Hey, yo, shout out to that pussy, Andre's girlfriend. He willing to start a fist fight.
But yeah, man, it's everything is derived. Even your thoughts that you think aren't from somewhere are from somewhere. So
yeah.
Shout out to that.
Yeah.
Subliminal psychology or something.
Yeah. Sure. Sigmund Freud could have a whole like he's just like yes. He's like yes.
He's dancing in his grave right now, just like I told you I was right.
I told you I was right. So another similar song, Special, which got played on the Unsigned Grind.
Yeah, the 98.5.
Yeah, it was really dope. So what was that? So if you guys are not familiar, in the Fort Myers or whatever, they got the unsigned grind or whatever, and they'll play rap artists, right, who are clearly unsigned, clearly making songs in the area or whatever. So what was that? What did it feel like when you just heard your song Special being played on the radio?
It was really cool for sure. I mean, you know, I don't necessarily have like a big desire to like get on the radio all the time.
Right.
But for somebody that makes music, I think you'd be lying to yourself if you think that it's not cool to have people going about their day and then hearing your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was definitely super tight. It was a cool experience. And that song was interesting too because I feel like I don't aim for this very much, but I feel like it's one of those songs where with the hook, it's like, you know, my ex thing still won't let go. Like it's just one of those things that people could anybody could relate to, guy or girl, like, you know. So it was definitely a cool moment. I enjoyed it.
Did you? I know you said you've been with your girl for a while, but did you have like a lot of like relationships with like different girls or whatever? Because I was listening to some of your songs, like not all of them, but like some of them have like they'll mention like a girl or like an ex or like doing XYZ or whatever. Did you have previous like relationships?
Yeah.
Like, you felt like that like kind of. Like, it was natural for it to integrate into your music.
For sure, bro. Yeah, I definitely, I mention a lot of things that have happened to me or situations or, like, you know, I think as an artist, anytime somebody's talking to me, I'm kind of even in the back of my mind thinking of, like, how I could put this into a song.
Right.
As terrible as that sounds, it's just the way I write.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? You run out of shit to rap about or whatever if you're not constantly thinking about using that in your music. But yeah, I would definitely say a lot of my lyrics and a lot of my song ideas are derived from women, whether it's women I've been with in the past or women that I just know, you know. So
yeah. Shout out to the women in Andre's life, man. You might, you might be, if you feel like if you can't like go through his song list or whatever and figure out, no, that's not about me. That's not about me. You weren't important enough to Andre. You didn't leave in a good impression. That's probably the most insulting thing. If your boyfriend is a musician and he didn't write any song referencing towards you, that's a blow to your ego.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because
there's no way you listen to my music now, like anything I've made in like the past couple of years, like it's riddled with shit about the girl that I'm with. You know what I mean? So like, whether it's small or big or whatever. So if you're dating a guy, especially a guy, you know, I don't necessarily know about how like women music writers are, but like a guy that's not mentioning you or something about you in his music, is not
just trash.
Not that into you.
Yeah.
Real talk.
It's either actually it's weird because like he's either A, he's really into you, or B, he'll talk about how I'm so not into you. If you're neither. You're just in the middle. You're just lukewarm. I feel like that's extra bad because people will talk about like, yo, fuck this bitch. I'm not really into her. Like I don't.
Because then they're trying. At that point, they're trying not to talk about you.
You're trying not to talk about you.
They're putting more effort into not talking about you than talking about you.
Damn.
That's crazy. I've never thought about that.
Yeah. So, and then, so this is probably my favorite line in your song "Work for Me." Or whatever. You brought up, you brought home a non-black girl, and then your mom got upset.
Yeah.
Was that an actual thing that happened when you brought home a non-black girl to your mom? Jamaican?
That was a little hyperbolic, but it's not. She wasn't upset, but
did she feel a certain type of way?
It's funny that line was just like, to me, was just like some clever shit that I thought about or thought of rather. Like one of my biggest inspirations is Kanye, like especially early Kanye, as lame as that sounds, but College Dropout, bro, if you just dissect that album, there's so many one-liners. It's like he was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
you know?
It's a great album.
Moments like that, I feel like I always thought that like Kanye was like rap Seinfeld. Like Seinfeld always had like these crazy like little one-liners,
right.
These questions that
he does have great one-liners.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's very underappreciated.
Yeah, for sure. College Dropout especially, man. There's so many of those. So that to me, that's like it's very rare you have those like rap Seinfeld moments where you say something that's like really funny but doesn't necessarily need more thought to it. Like the actual line is, "I got my mama mad. I ain't bringing home a black chick."
Right.
And it's funny because if you ever met my mom, you know she actually doesn't give a shit about that.
Right.
But it's still like it's possible. You know, it's possible for her to feel that way.
Yeah, because
and that's a real thing.
That's a real thing. It's very very typical in the in the black community for numerous amount of reasons. But like black moms, they definitely want you to bring home a black girl. So when you don't bring home a black girl, say you bring home a white girl, Asian girl, Hispanic girl, whatever, there's normally some tension. I know not with my mom.
Yeah.
My mom literally has dated, well, shout out to you, Mom. I know you listen to the podcast. I'm going to air you out a little bit. My mom has literally dated all white dudes. And can you guess who's the only non-white dude she dated?
Your dad.
My dad.
Nah, that's funny, man. I mean, my mom definitely is about the jokes.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. I mean, I think the first time she ever saw me with somebody that wasn't of our race was I was like 14.
Right.
And my mom's all about the jokes, bro. Like it.
Oh, she went in.
Yeah, bro. Like as soon as the girl
what
left,
you doing with that white boy?
as soon as she left, that was terrible.
Yeah, that's terrible. I should never do accents. I try in my mind. I'm like, oh, I just watched Luke Cage and shit. It's like, what did Bushmaster do?
I don't respect the attempt as much.
I try, man. I go for it.
But yeah, I mean, it's a really cool dynamic to have in your family in general. But if you could joke around with your parents, bro, like you're golden. It takes off that tension when some real shit happens because if you can go there when there's good times, then bad times are a lot easier to approach. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, my mom let the jokes fly, and I actually don't even know if she's ever heard that line because I feel like she would have said something about it. I might show her now. Just
she's like, she's like laughing. I love this song.
Yeah. But
it's like, Mom, you don't have to laugh that hard.
Yeah, but
stop laughing.
On some real shit though, like that shit needs to go away because I know like I have homies now that like if they dated a white girl or whatever, their moms would probably side eye them. You know what I mean? That shit's corny, bro. Like,
clearly not my mom.
Yeah. There is someone we know. I won't mention them by name.
Right.
But like, their parents were like Hispanic family. They were like, they were like they were upset with like a white guy. They would have been even more upset with a black guy.
Yeah.
They're like only like specifically Puerto Rican guy named Raul or something.
Right. It kind of stems from like a whole bunch of things like colorism and some racism.
Yeah, I mean
like
the only like somewhat like understandable perspective on that is like not wanting your race to die out. But is that even that real? Like you know what I'm saying? Like do you really think that like your daughter dating somebody that's not the same race as you is gonna extinct your entire race? Like shut up, bro. Like that's
you know what the the funny thing is, like I thought about this a couple years ago. I was like, I gotta date look, I'm too ugly not to just not date white girls or Hispanic girls or Asian girls. I need as many available girls as possible.
That's hilarious.
So I need everybody in the general population just to even like just have sex to get a relationship. So like I can't be like, yo man, I don't fuck with no white girls and Asian.
Plus I think it's not a bad idea to end racism with one mixed baby at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I can only make
from any two races.
Yeah.
So low key guys, I just want to let you know you're welcome for my contribution to existing, being half white and Dominican.
He's got that Blade syndrome. He's like a fucking daywalker. He's half.
I'm this Caribbean mutt.
Yeah, basically. All right, you wanna do some fun questions?
Some fun questions.
Yeah, let's do it. Wait, is that the list of fun questions?
This is the list of fun questions.
I'm about fun questions.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Let's say you were to design your own religion.
Ooh.
Okay. So basically, you might want to change up the Catholic background, the 4 years of it, or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe you want to incorporate reincarnation, or maybe you're like, you know what?
It's multiple gods. It's not just one god.
You could go full on Scientology. Everyone is their own like alien god inside themselves, or whatever the fuck Scientology does.
Go to Mormonism, where you're like, yo, I gotta have like 7 bitches.
Design your own religion.
Design your own religion.
Damn.
Start from the top. Would you have one god or multiple gods? Or the bullshit like it's 3 gods in one. It's like, all right.
Damn, that's tough. I mean, I think that it's healthy to believe in a thing, you know. So I guess, and just a full on disclaimer, I don't fuck with religion. Like, not that I don't have like my beliefs, but I don't fuck with like organized religion. I think that it's the complete like antithesis of what it's supposed to be. Like,
Yeah.
let's separate so we could be together. It's stupid. But anyway, I think that having one thing is probably the safest bet, just the way human psychology works.
Right. Instead of like, all right, this is the god of water, this is the god of air, this is the god of my I'm not paying my taxes back.
Yeah.
Yo, that's so funny. Why don't we have like very specific, updated, modern gods? This is the baby. This is child support god. This is
damn. That's nuts. There'll be a lot, but I think
this is the foreclosure god.
Foreclosure god.
Goddamn, AKA the Florida god.
Florida god.
But I think that dilutes things. I've read about the religions that have multiple deities or whatever, and I think that it dilutes it a little bit. It's like, oh well, if I disappoint this god, there's 24 other gods that'll fuck with me. So and then I would definitely eliminate the concept of church. I think the concept of church is trash.
Okay.
It gets weird. But what else?
But there would be no church girls to fuck. They get very horny.
Yeah, that's. I'm not even gonna count. I don't know. But just in case my mom listens to this.
I know. Because I used to go to church a lot when I was back in high school. I used to be Christian.
What was it? I don't remember if this was on MTV or some other like analogous network like Spike or something like that. But there was like the Hard Times of R.J. Berger. Do you remember that show?
That sounds wild familiar.
I don't think I ever watched it.
It literally had like, from what I know, like 1 maybe 2 seasons. But I remember distinctly this one scene where you have the main character, the protagonist, and his friend, and his friends talking to him about, you should join the Catholic club or whatever the fuck it is, because it's anything but sex.
Oh my gosh!
And then they skip to this animation with like they have these church parties where and literally like it comes to an animation of like colorful condoms.
Is this fucking what's his name? Bo Burnham? Is this Bo Burnham show?
Oh God,
Bo Burnham, I think.
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
I don't even know because it was a few years ago, so I probably
I'll
know.
look it up.
I don't know.
Is it R.J. Berger? I'm almost certain that they gave him a show that was ultra trash and it got canceled.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Likely so.
Like the whole center point is that this kid gets pantsed in like high school, and they find out he has like some baby arm hiding in his pants.
Wait, what?
Like that's like.
Oh yeah, I remember the show.
Dude, wait, do you know the MTV show? I Just Want My Pants Back.
Nah, bro.
Bro, this shit had, dude. It was so the concept basically is a dude who has sex with a girl. The first episode or whatever, and the girl takes his pants, or like takes it away. The entire premise, the entire basis of the show is him trying to find the girl so he can get his pants back. And this shit had, I think, 2 seasons. I'm like, bruh.
It's wild. Some of the premises that make it to.
Yeah.
Well, here's what's kind of funny about it. So 2 things to note when it comes to like television, like what gets premiered.
Right.
Number 1, 90% of ideas get rejected.
Right.
So you're seeing the best 10%.
Gosh.
Bro,
I'm just trying to get my pants back was the top 10%.
I heard this thing kind of offhand, so it may not be that exact percentage, but I imagine it could be that.
I mean, that's gotta be. There's gotta be some truth to that. One of my favorite things to do when I hear like a terrible single, right? Like a rap single specifically, is to imagine that person had to make that song, right? And then they had to show other people, probably their close friends, and their close friends had to say, yeah, no, this is the one. And then they had to bring it to an executive that doesn't give a fuck about rap, that had to be like, yeah, let's put $300,000 into this,
That's a good point.
And then somebody else had to like shop it, go to radio, and there's so many times that somebody could have said no,
right?
And they still allowed the song to be out. Like that, to me, that's like one of the craziest like hierarchies there is, because there's just so much opportunity to tell them that they're. Meanwhile, like. Me and my friends tell each other our songs are trash all the fucking time, and they never see the light of day.
Never see the light of day.
Yeah, but then these guys are putting millions. Jesus, dude, it's so wild.
Now, just to point out, thing number 2 is that the shows that have the most success are not the ones that are like generally overall good, but the ones that are most polarizing.
True.
So
right, like some like South Park shit,
like Family Guy.
Family Guy, right?
What was it? I think there's an author, the guy that wrote the Dilbert cartoon, Scott Adams, right? So he has some interesting thoughts, and he wrote a
dead?
book. No, he's not dead.
Okay.
I think he has a podcast going on. So the podcast going on. Everyone has a podcast.
Hey, but it's not like John's closet though.
But he wrote a couple of books. And one of them is called "How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big."
Right.
And basically he has like there's this one moment where he talks about his many failures, and one of the failures was getting his cartoon comic Dilbert turned into a TV show, right? And this was around the times that I think around the time that The Simpsons were coming out. All right, or at least
Sounds
they had
about
already
right.
established themselves, some of their
Yeah.
seasons. So basically, what he found out was that Dilbert had some good overall ratings, but you had nobody that was very everyone was like, oh, it's okay. But the viewership was not super polarizing. You didn't have a lot of people that hated it and liked it, right?
Gotcha, right.
So you didn't have like the hardcore fan base that was really like, and so his show had like half a season, or like it was just the premiere or the
Like the
pilot, yeah.
It's the goddamn Rebecca Black Friday syndrome, dude. I swear to God, man. It just constantly comes. It's got to be polarizing. It's got to have some type of polarizing.
Yeah,
It can't be
people have to
plain.
dislike something like
Yeah.
the most successful songs and artists, especially now. Like people have to dislike it just as much as
Just
people
as
like it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like
super
you
important.
think about like Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Even X.
Thinking with WB.
Yeah, like even X, like you know,
Yeah.
I know he just passed away, and that like brought a whole
Yeah.
different level of attention
Yeah.
to his music. But like, people fucking hated him just as much as people liked him,
Yeah.
and that's like the reason why his shit was so big. So.
Yeah. Speaking of XXXTentacion, wait, did I say it right?
XXX Tentacion. Yeah. Which was
For-
actually his gamer tag or something.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I
Interesting.
read that somewhere. I mean, it was on Reddit, so it has to be true, right?
Yeah, it's very funny. I actually have a question on him. Right. So my main question is, not anything about his music or whatever, but like during the time he's a very he was a very polarizing
artist.
type of person or whatever, like. And it kind of, as I was reading I would, when he died, right, I was reading everybody on Twitter or whatever and Facebook, people reactions and stuff like that. And I feel like one of the most reoccurring things is they came back like, can you separate the art from the artist? Which is normally a yes. You can, or else if you couldn't, you could never listen to any art ever, right? Because once
sure.
you try to merge it or whatever, your own personal moralities or whatever, it would have to conflict and you can no longer support. But I thought to myself, does it ever get to a point where you just can't anymore? Where the things that they're doing are too heinous, where you just can't openly support this particular artist?
I think the real answer to that question is it depends on how good the art is. I'm not willing to separate the music from the artist if your shit's not that good. But if it's
Okay. So you gotta be
just realistically
Right,
speaking,
right.
like I think we can all be very hypocritical when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But realistically speaking, if I like a song enough, I'm like, whatever, bro. Like, because I have some friends that are really angry with Kanye West and like,
Yeah. Right.
the turn that he took.
Yeah. And yay, to me, it wasn't that great. I like kids see girls or whatever a little bit
Yeah.
more, but like you do bring up a good point. Like Chris Brown, huge history of being polarizing a lot of things.
Yeah.
Clearly the thing with Rihanna with the spousal abuse, domestic abuse, or whatever. But he's been on top with I swear to God, he's been on top with the radio hits.
Yeah, I mean,
the
he's like one
songs
of the
and
most talented
music.
people of our lifetime. Like,
Yeah. So you
it
feel
just-
like people just need to be on top with their talent. if
Yeah,
they're gonna-
bro. You can.
right?
I mean, even going back as far as Michael Jackson, like
Yeah.
Michael Jackson had some crazy shit attached to his name, but he made fucking Thriller, bro. Like,
Career ending.
yeah, bro, life
Yeah.
ending.
Life
Like, if he
ending.
was anybody else, somebody would have shot him in the face at some point. You know what I mean? Like, but he made Thriller, bro. He made Off the Wall. Like you can't tell that dude that. I feel the same way about Kanye. Like people are like upset about certain things, but he made 808s and Heartbreaks, bro. Like
Is that
you can't be that mad at him, dude.
Yeah,
Like
me too. He made College Dropout.
he made College Dropout.
Yeah.
Can you see-
He got Lil Wayne to rap
Graduation.
the way Lil Wayne rapped on Barry Bonds. Like
Oh,
I can
that's
never
such
be
a
mad at
great-
that guy.
It's such a great underrated Kanye West.
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
song.
People hate that song for whatever reason. I've run into more people that don't like that song than do. But
I don't like Drunken Hot Girls.
That is
the most death. I don't like that.
That
song.
is
Yeah.
that is the only problem. That is the only flaw on the album Graduation to me.
I swear to God, I was like, yeah. I remember I was listening to it recently, maybe like a year ago, when I was like, damn, I love this album, but the Drunken Hot Girls.
Yeah.
But Barry Bonds went so
one.
hard, and the next song I think came after that was like Can't Tell Me Nothing. I think. I'm
On
not
the
sure
album?
Yeah.
No, I Can't Tell Me Nothing was early.
Was it
I think
earlier?
It, was like, it might have been song like 4 or 5. Barry Bonds is like 8. I'm gonna fact check this.
Yeah.
I feel like it's appropriate. I'm gonna do 2 things at once.
Yeah. Fact check.
But
yeah. So, damn, what was I gonna say about Michael Jackson? Oh, this is a comedian named Akash Singh, right? He had a
what's his name?
Akash Singh.
Okay.
All right. He does Flagrant 2 podcast with Andrew Schultz and Kaz. I think I mentioned it before in the podcast, but he had a funny take.
I don't have service in here.
He had a funny take on Michael Jackson. He was like, the reason why we didn't really want to believe that he touched all those kids, he did all those horrible things or whatever, because we don't we feel like we would still listen to the music despite the fact that he did those things.
Yeah.
And we know that our morals, normally it should be aligned that way, but you can't not listen to Thriller during Halloween time. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. You're going to forget about the kids. Even if it's 100% true, you're still, because the music was just that good. And we know in our hearts that, like, well, I don't know those kids.
Yeah. You know, Thriller is the first music video with a storyline.
Really?
Ever.
Really?
Yeah, dude. It is. It's the first. I mean, you can't find one before that. Every other music video before that was just performance pieces.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, real talk.
So what do you feel like? Oh yeah, I meant to ask you this earlier. So you mentioned earlier about Ryan Laser.
Yeah.
Right. You know, frequent collaborator. So how did you meet Ryan Laser, and why do you feel like you guys have such a good chemistry?
Our stories about meeting each other differ. He says that we went to high school together. I don't fucking believe him. I don't think that he went to. I don't think that he went to.
Boy, why the fuck you lying?
That's an ongoing joke we have with each other. For whatever reason, I don't know. He like the first time I remember hanging out with him, he said some shit like, "Yeah, bro, back when we were in high school," and I was like, "Oh, what high school did you go to?" And he said Cape High. I was like, "No, you didn't, dude. Like I knew everybody in Cape High. You didn't go to Cape High. Fuck you." But
wait, what if it's okay? You were with your friends or whatever, right? And he's like the one table over, like listening in, and like
yeah,
and you're like, and like you're like, he's like, what should be my rap name? And somebody's like, Andre 1000. It's like, nah, that's stupid. It was like, what about Andre the Saint?
Yo, real talk.
No, Andre the Saint.
Fucking Ryan still has me saved in his phone as Andre 6000. And he thinks it's hilarious.
He thinks it's hilarious.
Bro, he thinks it's so
Come
funny.
on, Ryan. That's why Andre don't remember you. Because you made that lame ass joke to him in high school. You're like, man, fuck this dude.
But nah, really though, I remember us coming together was just on. It's funny. He I used to be in a group with a couple other rappers, and he like was supposed to make beats for another dude in the crew, and at the time, he was just like, "Yo, can you give me a ride to Ryan's house?"
Right.
I was like, yeah, it's not that far from where I live. That's fine. So I went over there. He gave him the beats. I don't think he ever ended up using them. And then Ryan just hit me up. Was like, yo, bro, you want to come through? And the thing about that is, I fucking never, ever like am receptive about people I don't know that try to give me beats.
Right.
Because I'm just like, no, I don't want to. Like, I have people that I work with that know exactly what I like. Like, I don't want to go through getting to know you. As shitty as that sounds, it's a lot of work, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to figure each other out musically, and then, you know, what if I don't even like you as a person? Like, it's just, it gets messy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I went over there. We made a song together that never came out, but I knew immediately. I was like, this was super
this felt
easy.
Good. Yeah,
it was easy to do.
Right.
He understood, like, and like, I'm very hands-on with my music too. You know, if I'm making a song, and the snare is bothering me, I need it fixed then.
Yeah,
you know?
and
it's like, it's easy to communicate with him musically, and we've built our relationship based on that. He knows what I like. You know, even like Fist Fight, I can't even think of another producer in the entire world that would be able to, because I sent him a text on some like, yo, I need some like different shit, and he sent me that like 2 nights later.
Wow.
And I just knew, like, I like.
And then as soon as you heard it, you're like, "This is it."
Yeah,
like,
bro. That doesn't happen with. I have one other producer, Lemieux, that I used to work with closely. Shout out to him. He's in New York right now. But he used to live down here, and we used to work a lot together. Those are the only two people in the world that I know. Like, musically, I could just say whatever, and they'll be able to translate it.
Yeah.
So shout out to Ryan, man. He's
Ryan
great.
Laser.
Yeah, and his music, like his actual rap shit, is so fucking good too. He has this new song called "Little Bit" that's like the hardest song out right now. I don't care what anybody says; it's so fire.
Hardest song out right now. Andre Desaint does not give a fuck
about any of your music.
Yeah. So what?
Ryan's song is the hardest.
Yeah. So what do you feel like Florida artists have become like the new hot spot for some of the biggest artists? You got like XXX.
Yeah.
You got the Kodak Blacks, even Little Pump, and, a whole bunch of crop of Denzel Curry, who's my personal favorite.
Denzel's
right.
Denzel's a
beat. Really Taboo. Oh my God, this was earlier. I was like, holy shit, this is so good.
Very good.
But why do you feel like Florida has become a recent hotspot? Because it used to be of course, New York, L.A. in that area. Those are big.
Atlanta's still going.
Atlanta's still going,
quietly.
But Florida is just like the undermined area of like, a lot of the new artists or whatever, a lot of the people who are really popping like online and of course have crossed over to the radio or whatever, like
are from Florida,
and all of them from Florida, but like different parts of Florida too.
I think so that's what I think is the biggest part of it, is that Florida is a huge state, first of all,
right?
But it's also a big melting pot. A lot of people that I know and probably people that you guys know, their parents moved here.
Right.
And from all different walks of life. So I think that has a lot to do with the diversity in Florida. There's not necessarily a Florida sound. Like, there's more of like a Florida personality type than a Florida sound.
That's a good point. Because there is a very distinct New York sound. There's a very distinct Cali sound and South. There's no, there really is.
Because Denzel's music doesn't sound anything like X. Ski Mask Slum God's music doesn't sound anything like Lil Pump. You know what I mean? There's not. I don't think there's a sound. I think that there's like a aura. There's a Florida aura, which is cooler because you could band all these minds together and still have different music to listen to, which is tight. Like I can make a playlist of Florida music. And none of it sounds.
It'll be all over.
It'll be all over the place.
I do want to point out. I think death metal. The origin of death metal was in Florida.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
That makes sense.
Let me really quickly fact check myself.
Yeah.
Dude, after that, can you just pull up the track list of Kanye West's album Graduation for the earlier part of this conversation? But yeah, that is what I think is the biggest thing is, people always say Florida's a melting pot because nobody's really from here.
Yeah.
But I think that we're part of the first generation that was like from here. Like I wasn't born in Florida, but most people our age.
Yeah, I was definitely born in Florida, but my dad was from Michigan, and then my mom was a military kid, so she lived like all over the United States. So yeah, you're so right. Like, it is really interesting to see Florida becoming that new hotbed of different music. And
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think you had a great point. Like, it really is the personality.
Yeah,
when you listen to a person who's from Florida, you automatically like. Yeah,
this is a Florida nigga for sure.
This is a Florida nigga for sure.
Like Kodak Black is like the quintessential Florida nigga for sure. Like, but that's more his personality than his music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. There's just not like to me. There's just not like a streamlined sound. It's just the way people carry themselves that are more Florida than anything. Which is even around here, bro. Like you go to, you can listen to, the hippie circle. They're out of Naples.
Hippie Circle. No.
They're it's not like a band or anything. It's more like a collective of they're really big about bringing the people from that area and this area. They're kind of coming over here more lately.
Are you talking about? Do they have anything with live art that happens in Naples?
I think so.
Think so?
I'm not 100% sure. Like I'm really bad at stuff like
live
that.
Art.
but they did. They would do these New Wave Sundays over at Kava Bar, and I went over there and performed one time. But it was just so cool seeing like all that shit. But anyway, like what I was getting at is they have a playlist on Spotify that I follow, and I had like a bunch of flights. And like last month I went to a bunch of different places, so I needed some shit on my phone.
Right.
and I just downloaded the whole playlist, like 100 and something songs.
Right.
But everybody on that playlist is
Right.
from Naples.
Oh wow!
And
So
none of it sounds alike. It's I mean,
Damn.
you're like you can go from like Nate Traveler to like Slight to all of Backhouse, and then you got Bill Suave. His shit is like
Bill
super,
Suave's
super,
really good.
He's like a part of Hippie Circle. He's
Okay,
part of the
gotcha.
like running
Makes
part
sense.
of it.
I think you get the checklist.
I do have
and
the checklist.
I think you're right.
Oh
I
no,
can't
we're both kind of right. It Can't Tell Me Nothing goes into Barry Bonds
but
but-
I think I was talking about Drunken Hot Girls. What is Drunken Hot Girls?
after Barry Bonds.
Okay, I was right afterward. Oh, okay, Flashing Lights.
Flashing Lights.
Because
Yeah.
I knew in my mind an amazing song happened right after Drunken Hot Girls.
Oh, that's funny that it says featuring Yasin Bey. Like this is an ultra updated. Like they because he was most Def back then. Let's keep it real.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
But
this is Rap
another
Genius, I think.
another interesting thing about Drunken Hot Girls. Have you ever heard the original sample of it?
No.
When you listen to the original sample of it, it makes more sense why Kanye West and Mos Def thought this song was good, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Because they heard that song and they liked it, and they were like, "We got to remake this."
Yeah.
But I think they stuck too much to the skeleton of the sample,
Right.
and it turned out to be the lowest low point of it. This is the only low point on the album to me, but it's so low that it's like, why? Like,
yeah, and then it goes all the way up. Flashing Lights was probably my. I kind of go back and forth, like, what is my favorite Kanye West song? And that's always, like, Flashing Lights is either number 1 or number 2.
What's the other one for you?
Probably,
Mine easily
Hey.
number 1 is Can't Tell Me Nothing. I don't think
Can't
there's a
Tell Me
better
Nothing.
Kanye West song than Can't Tell Me Nothing.
I might go Touch the Sky is pretty high up for me. I feel like Flashing Lights is always in the top 5, and then like my top 5 of Kanye West songs kind of rotates depending on like. So I would have to like really like there was like a little madness Kanye West like madness bracket for all his songs. Yeah. I thought that was so cool because I'm like, wow, like I need to go do that to see, and it's a cool.
There's
way.
some really interesting ones online too. Like they did one for Future.
They did one for Future.
It was difficult. I was following along. I was like, "Fuck, man!" But another crazy thing about this is that, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Damn, that's trash. Flashing Lights. So Flashing Lights. I think Flashing Lights is the first time he referred to himself as Yeezy.
Was it?
I think so. He says, I get a call like, "Where are you, Yeezy?" You know, that's like the first time I ever heard him refer to himself as Yeezy.
You know, this is Genius. The website is.
Yeah, but Genius is full of people that are just reaching.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love Genius comments.
Yeah, so where are you?
It's so funny.
Let's see if they even reference it after he's up. Nah, they don't say anything. But I'm pretty sure that's his first time calling himself Yeezy.
I can't fact check you right now, but I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll just roll with it. This was the inception of the sneaker. It was, and what's funny is I think that my theory behind him calling himself Yeezy is so that he can rhyme it with Weezy and Jeezy at another point in his career because he did. I think it was like on the Lollipop remix or something.
Conspiracy. I like this. Andre,
man.
Andre Desaint got these hot
I do a lot
takes.
of I do a lot of deep diving.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Kanye West? He recently released a whole bunch of music for his Good Music label. We had Pusha T, Daytona, which was probably my personal favorite.
Fucking perfect album, dude.
At Nasir, Hat Ye, Kids See Ghosts, Tiana Taylor's Keep That Same Energy, stuff like that. So all of them, or I'm not sure if you're aware. I know you don't listen to hip hop as much, but basically they had a 7-song album. Right, because the technical
except for Tiana Taylor, hers was 8 for whatever reason.
because it was too short with 7 songs or whatever. Because it had to be a certain amount of minutes. But the bare minimum 7 songs, it had to be over these certain number of minutes.
I think it has to be more than 15 minutes to be able to qualify for a Grammy.
Yeah, basically that's what he did, right? Okay. And he released maybe like 4-5 albums or whatever, and then each
in
week,
5 weeks.
In 5 weeks, and entirely produced by him.
I like the fact that you don't really listen to hip hop. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, entirely produced. So it was a crazy and a whole bunch of controversy with Pusha T and Drake beef, and then Ye with his whole spazzing out on TMZ, MAGA. It was a crazy month for hip hop, and it's so and I forget that like not everybody listens to hip hop. whatever. Because like,
because to us it feels like the only thing that ever happened.
It felt like the only crazy shit that happened this entire summer. Like I don't remember any cool crazy movies I saw. I remember all of that and me seeing everybody's reaction on Twitter, Facebook, social media, and everything. And I was just keeping up, and I was just like so entertained by it and stuff like that. So what I meant to say is like, how do you feel about the 7-song album rollout versus the other way, which is like Drake was reason Scorpion album had like 24, 25 songs or whatever. How do you feel about like 7 songs versus the overbloated 20 plus songs?
I think I'm in the minority where I really like the 7-song format.
Me too. I liked it.
Yeah, I appreciate getting me in and out of there. I don't necessarily want to hear the songs that you thought might be good or might work. I want to hear the songs that you're really confident about. You know, I know like as somebody that makes music, if I put out 7 songs, that I had at least 7 more that I wanted to put out too, and I cut it down. You know what I mean? I can't I can't imagine any artist out there that puts out a 7-song album that only made 7 songs.
Yeah.
You know? So I can appreciate the fact that it's most likely going to be the best of what you had to offer at that time, and also I could listen to it in one car ride. Like because one of my biggest problems with some of my favorite albums is I tend to want to start an album from the beginning every time I'm listening to it. If I go to a restaurant and I'm listening to an album, I start it, but when I leave my house, I eat, I get back in my car, I'm starting it over. That's just how I roll. So like if it ends before I get there, perfect. You know what I mean?
Think about if Graduation was 7 songs. Okay, I would say Good Morning.
Okay, yeah, Good Morning.
Pull up the list here.
Yeah. Pull up the
Champion has to stay.
Champion has to stay. I like Champion.
I Wonder has to stay.
I Wonder. Okay, that's 3.
Drunken Hot Girls is out of here for sure.
Okay.
The Glory can go. I'm sorry, but the Glory can go.
Yeah, Glory can go.
Homecoming can go because the original version is way better. Have you ever heard the original version? Where
I haven't.
He just raps the whole, like the whole song is just like one long verse. It's on the demo that leaked after he got into that car accident.
So we got Good Morning, Champion, I Wonder.
What are these bonus songs? John Mayer. Oh, I remember that.
Okay. I definitely do like Big Brother being last. Definitely got to keep Flashing Lights. And I would say I like Good Life too. So we had Good Morning, Champion, I Wonder, Can't Tell Me Nothing, Flashing Lights, that's 5, Brother, Big Brother, and then what would be another one? Good Life, 2. No,
I think you had a Good Life in there already.
Yeah.
Did you have I Wonder? I Wonder is fucking amazing.
Okay.
Dude, he has like one of the most iconic Kanye lyrics to me in that song is when he says, "You say I think I'm never wrong. You know what? Maybe you're right." Like that's like like that's so great because it's like you're right, but you're right about something you don't want to be right about. It's fucking it's great.
It's great. So, what are your? I know this is a cliche question, but like it's been a universal question that every rap artist and people have highly debated or whatever. So do you have a list of your top 5 rap artists, your rappers, whatever, however you want to categorize it?
Yeah, it depends on the day you ask me, but so
I want to say exclude all the already legends. So don't put the Jay-Z's and
perfect. That's even
Nas,
better for me.
The Biggies,
fuck
whatever.
Yeah, I hate having to have that conversation.
Yeah, because you're like, Nas, Biggie, Jay-Z.
All legends
excluded.
Number 1, Big L.
Big L. Okay.
Big L. Fucking dude, he's like the reason that my syllables are so like hardcore matched. You know, like just the way he matched words up, like.
Right.
Fucking bar none. His album Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous is excellent too, which is the only album he released while he was alive. Earl Sweatshirt.
Love me some Earl Sweatshirt.
Yeah, Earl Sweatshirt is amazing. I don't necessarily know what's going on with him.
He hasn't released an album. Yeah.
I mean, I follow him on Twitter and shit, but he's like really big on. I know his dad passed recently.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that has something to do with it, and he doesn't really give a fuck about this fame shit. So But yeah, Earl is like out of here. To me, he's just on another level.
Right.
That's 2, right? Let's see. I'd say Rakim.
Okay.
Rakim was really, really instrumental to me and some of my favorite rappers. Like, and that's kind of like cheating a little bit, just because I know Rakim is like the reason Eminem raps the way he raps.
Right.
So,
right.
but he's, you know, people our age don't really know anything about Rakim.
Right. John's like Eric B and Rakim.
Yeah, Eric B.
But anyways, that's why he's good for this. But so okay, that's 3. So 2 more, I think.
Who else? I'm trying to think of people that have just like been. I kind of want some sleepers. I think Big L is a sleeper enough.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I gotta say Kendrick, just because he's not
right.
He's not like at obvious greatest ever status yet, so I could still like bring his name up.
He's definitely. I feel like maybe back with Good Kid, Mad City, people were like, "Yo, he's a GOAT." I'm like, it's a little bit too early.
It's still too early, I think.
I feel like if you had him, right, on a greatest ever in like a top 25, or whatever, top 20 maybe, I wouldn't be mad at you.
Yeah,
I'm like,
for sure. No, not at all. But his album Section 80, like, I think it came out in 2012. Blew my fucking mind, bro. Like that album was some next level shit to me. Just the fact that they were like infusing jazz into like hard ass hip hop. Yeah, that shit was crazy. So that's 4.
Yeah, and where you go one more? I think I have my list, and it's gonna be like,
it's
gonna be all
dude,
over the place.
That's fucking tough, man.
Yeah, because I like the list excluding out legends, because I'm just like,
it's so much better.
Easier.
It's so much better.
Like your personalized list of like, okay, these are the artists excluding the legends that I personally like, and I think are really. Superior.
Oh, all right. So this is okay. This is a legend depending on who you ask, and the people that don't think so are crazy. So I'm gonna say Lil Wayne.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
yes, Lil Wayne, yeah, for sure. He started this whole mumble rap, tattoos on your face. You know,
but also like he was able to do that and also just be fucking barred out all the time. Like, there's freestyles of Wayne that are just 4 minutes of him rapping. Like not anything but just straight up line for line for line for line, rapping his ass off. Like, so that's probably my 5. I would say I'm comfortable with that. Like, I can't even explain how influential Wayne's wittiness and like his ability to just be fucking hilarious all the time.
He's
you
so
know what
good.
I mean? He's just so good. Dude. It bothers me when people say anything other than that. Like, I get legit annoyed. Like,
I feel like a couple of years ago that was like the normal like trend to like, oh, Lil Wayne is trash, Lil Wayne he's bad, he made it, blah, blah. But I feel like he kind of had the turnaround where like people, as soon as the landscape of hip hop started to change after the Carter 3 drop, which was probably his biggest, most successful, most like critical acclaimed album, whatever. You saw how the landscape of hip hop changed, and then everywhere from I say more so his look and his aesthetic, right, was probably his biggest influence. Like, you can't help but to see every motherfucking rap artist having tattoos all over their bodies and shit like that, and the way they carry themselves.
I do have one comment.
Yes.
Because I don't know Lil Wayne as a rapper, as a hip hop artist.
Right.
I know him primarily as a guitarist.
No,
dude, that hurts.
No,
fuck.
Let's avoid that topic.
So no, we can't now. So you've heard the album Rebirth, like on purpose?
I mean,
I don't think he knows it that.
Okay, so
you've probably seen that one video where he's on stage.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Playing the guitar with his thumb or whatever the fuck it was.
I didn't like that album, and I respected the courage, man, because at the time, like, nobody was doing that.
Yeah.
He was kind of looked at like, the fuck are you? That's crazy. What are you doing? But that's not a part of his catalog to me, bro. I'm sorry.
But that was my introduction to Lil Wayne. So
wow, that
terrible. Sucks. It sucks that there's other humans that have gone through that. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me think. My top 5. Let me see if I could do like just a hot take. Quick one. I would say I agree with Kendrick Lamar for sure.
Yeah.
And here's where I'm gonna go left. I'm gonna say Danny Brown.
Oh Jesus! All the way left. I mean, respectable, but
Yeah.
You're trying to argue.
MC Ride from Death Grips.
Oh, okay. Yes, I've actually never listened to Death Grips. I know that's
some good shit.
Yeah.
I would say. Let me think. I would probably put Andre 3000 For sure.
Okay.
Everyone's like, phew, back in the, and then I'm gonna go all the way left again. I'm gonna probably say MF Doom.
That's not left, bro.
It's not too. Yeah.
That motherfucker is insane. Like,
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. But
and he's like the reason that Earl Sweatshirt exists.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But that's my general like. If I had to sit down and like really think about it, I
think
might
that was
change
only.
it up. But
Was that 4?
that was was that 4? I said Kendrick Lamar, Danny Brown,
MC Ride.
Oh,
Andre 3000.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was a good list, dude.
Yeah. But so one more question. So your favorite rap albums or just albums in general of the mid-year so far? Because I know you're super.
This year?
Yeah, this year. Because I was trying to think. I was thinking about it. I'm like, damn, what am some of my favorite? I remember Daytona for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Denzel Curry is already one of my favorite.
Yeah, I haven't sat with that one enough, and I really like it, but it's been 3 days.
Yeah, it has been 3 days, but it's like I've been listening to a lot of the rap. Like it immediately left that big enough of an impression on me.
Cloud Cobain is great. That the video is tight.
Yes.
But I think you're in the list.
JPEG Mafia veteran.
I keep hearing about this.
Oh my god!
I haven't listened.
JPEG Mafia. Listen to, I would say Real Nigga. I'm sorry. I think I didn't Real Nigga. Real Nigga and Baby I'm Bleeding. It's like if you like very more experimental hip hop music, but he still has a very like he's still like rapping on beat. He's not like.
I want to point out that I did go for a walk at like 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And this was the album that I put on. And
JPEG Mafia?
Yeah, like the veteran.
Yeah, veteran, yeah.
And, mind you, I'm a metalhead. I listen to a lot of metal.
Yeah, it's very aggressive, very political.
This got me just as amped up as like any like deathcore like.
I might listen to it on the way home.
Yeah, actually. It's some good shit. Caliuchis, Isolation is one of my
So it doesn't have to be rap then.
No, it doesn't have to be rap.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I like Janelle Monáe's Dirty Computer. I like that a lot too. I actually didn't listen to Death Grips came out album Year of the Cinch. I haven't gotten around to listening to it because like there's so much other music I've just been occupied with listening to. I haven't gotten around to listening to it.
My favorite album so far this year is 777 by Key. You know who that is?
No.
Key. Oh, dude, Key is like. It's interesting because he should be so much more famous. Mm-hmm. And I know if he heard anybody say that, he would just be like, "Why?" You know. But he's so influential. He's from Atlanta. He started out in this group called 2-9 back in the day, and he has his album called 777 with Kenny Beats from Loud Pack, who's like an electronic group. I think they tour pretty heavily in like Europe and shit. But he makes rap beats that are fucking incredible. He actually he's done a few albums for people this year. He did Freddie Gibbs' new album, Freddie. He did Rico Nasty's album, Nasty, and then the Key album 777, which is it's sonically beautiful. It's like he's the only person on it. Like all the songs sound like they're from that album, but they're not the same song over and over again, which is really hard to accomplish. Like it reminds me of like the first time I listened to Purity Ring's album.
Right.
Was it Shrines? I think. Where like it sounds like it's from the same album, but it's not the same song over and over again. I think that's super hard to accomplish.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely my favorite album of the year so far. I keep going back to it so much that it's hard for me to even think about what else I've been listening to.
Yeah, I really had to like think about like, damn, like there's so much music and like especially music from like very popular artists that came out this year. I was just like, damn, like who do I really like? And,
I'm not sure if this came out in 2017 or 18, and it's actually a local person, Slight. He's from Naples, and he has this project called Book of Water, and he actually did like a series of like the 5 books or whatever. But his project Book of Water, I listen to a lot. I listen to that all the time.
Book of Water.
Yeah, it's just really good, man. It's fucking. If I had no idea who he was personally, I would listen to that album all the time. Still, yeah, it's like real tight.
That's good.
Damn, this is tough, man. I don't know. I'm like blanking right now. I like side A of Drake's new album.
Me too. I don't like.
Yeah, side B is not. It's just not for me. It's not that it's not good. It's just.
You know what?
I don't have a vagina.
I think you know my thing about Drake is with the side B or whatever. But people are always saying that like Drake he isn't a dynamic enough R&B singer to make a whole side B album.
That's a good point. You mean like vocally?
Vocally,
Okay.
yes. Right? It's because I listen to him
Because his
vocally.
writing is great.
But writing is great. He's a rap artist where he never has to have an R&B artist do his singing hook. But he is not a dynamic enough.
Damn, that's a really good point.
He's not dynamic enough to carry an entire album of singing because it eventually kind of becomes the same vocal ranges,
same tone, same key,
same key, same way he like does it. Like I can kind of expect, like I know so because like. When have you ever heard Drake go falsetto?
Yeah.
I've never heard Drake go falsetto, and that's a very typical thing that an R&B artist can do. And just to even like, and they'll even go falsetto.
He usually
for
brings
a
in the weekend for that.
Yeah, like you would have to bring in when you actually listen to a natural R&B artist, say like a Miguel or whatever, Weekend or whatever. Like you can hear the clear differences in between.
For sure.
For Drake,
I think it's still commendable that he is willing to do it and can do it. But I think that's probably the best assessment of his talent.
Yeah.
For sure, is the fact that he never needs somebody else to sing his hooks, but probably shouldn't do a. How many songs is that beside?
Oh my
12?
God, too long.
14?
Too long, man.
And Daytona too. Daytona was great.
Yeah.
I think it's the best of those the Kanye projects that we're talking about.
For sure.
Just sonically, it sounded polished. It sounded like that was what we were gonna get, regardless of whether it was 7 songs or not. If that makes sense, you know what I mean. Some of those projects that came out, I felt like they were 7 songs, and they knew it was 7 songs going in. Whereas I feel like they probably scaled it back to get to Daytona. They trimmed the fat a little bit.
All right. Want to do one more fun question, and then we can.
Yeah, I'm trying to go through these. You know, it's funny because when we wrote these down like 3 months ago.
Right.
Yeah.
One of them, which I never ask because I never think it's gonna stem into any conversation. Is like,
right.
What would be your DJ alias? But I feel like that doesn't apply here.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's funny.
So let's see.
We should probably add some more questions to that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
And I mean, just to kind of talk about that while you try to find a question, is like I made a conscious decision to not come up with a DJ name.
Really?
Yeah, I just I use the same rap name. I just go by Andre, like not DJ Andre Desaint, nothing, just Andre Desaint. Like, one, I feel like it's really weird to call myself a DJ because of what I said earlier about the craft of DJing and all that stuff. Not to discredit myself, I think that there is skill there, but but yeah, I just want to be like one person with different facets. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I produced a song,
don't box me in, fam.
Right. It would still be produced by Andre Desaint. I wouldn't come up with a different producer name or nothing like that. So.
Okay.
Right. What you got?
If you could be reincarnated as a different either a different ethnic background or B, a different gender, what would you come back as, and why?
I respect women a lot, and
Andre the PC. Andre the feminist.
I respect
Andre the social justice warrior. I'm fucking.
That's amazing.
Shout out to Andre's girlfriend, man. You know the right response. She listens to it. She's like, well.
No, my girl's hella chill.
Yeah.
But I respect women a lot, but there's challenges in their life that I just don't want to deal with, bro. I can't. There's guys out there.
I like this take.
Yeah, so, there's the guys out there that are like, oh, I could be a woman. Like, no, you fucking can't, bro.
Yeah,
there's no way, man. So honestly, I think I would be too scared to come back as a woman. So I'm gonna choose a dude, and I would say, you said ethnic background, right?
Yeah. So you can't come back as a black
would
man.
you be like a 6'2" white dude named Ethan that salts fries at Wendy's?
Damn, nah. I think that I would probably enjoy being a 6 foot Brazilian dude.
Ooh.
because of my love for soccer. I'm a huge soccer fan.
Okay, gotcha.
And I think that as much as growing up in Jamaica was fused by a lot of soccer and all that, Brazilians are on another level, bro.
Yeah,
they fucking bleed soccer,
right.
you know. So I would love to just be raised in that type of environment and be able to be from a country that has 5 fucking World Cup trophies. I know that's a really weird reason, but that's literally what I would do just for that, just to talk shit.
Yeah, I think that was probably one of our better answers for the reincarnation. question, because there's always like a left field question, and people are like, "Oh, I feel a little bit uncomfortable with this question," because like we'll ask it. I think the last time we asked it was a whole bunch of like white dudes. I think it was the Kimberleys. They're like, "Yeah,
that's a tough one.
It's like I'm already on top though.
Yeah. I've already unlocked the final level of life. But yeah, no, just to double down on that shit.
Yeah.
Like I would, dude. There's no way like we would be able to handle like being a woman, bro. Like it's fucking nuts. Like the shit that they have to deal with. Just like living.
I mean, it's evident from with this whole Me Too movement and the women vocalizing. I mean, women vocalizing things they've always vocalized, but like now that it has a big ass spotlight. Right, it is changing the landscape of how men interact with women and them double taking or whatever.
Bro, just like listening to dudes try to talk to girls is terrible.
Yeah,
just I can only imagine like the shit that we don't hear. Yeah. So yeah, man, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's much easier being a dude. Just to keep it 100% real.
Yeah. So, Andre Desaint, where can they find you? Where can they get your social media and everything?
I'm at Andre Desaint on everything. Instagram, Twitter. I don't know if you search Andre Desaint on Facebook, you'll find it too. But yeah, that's me on everything, man. SoundCloud, Instagram,
Facebook.
I'm on Spotify. I'm on all the. No, I don't. I don't have a YouTube. I haven't put out a video in a while, and the previous videos were under like the group that I was with.
Okay.
But if you search Andre Desaint, my stuff will come up. But also like I'm on all the streaming services as far as my music goes. Mixcloud too. I only have one DJ mix up right now. I'll be putting more out as time progresses. I'm still learning, so But yeah, just Andre Desaint on everything. That's why I changed my name, because it's easy to find. So
yeah. I mean, you got a couple thousand views on a lot of your songs or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's legit. And make sure you guys.
People like me sometimes.
Yeah, I like you sometimes. Make sure you subscribe to John's motherfucking Closet. We're on Instagram, John_Closet_.
Yep.
Right. Facebook, John's Closet. Of course.
Yeah, shout out to y'all, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, YouTube, John's Closet. This was episode 13 with Andre Desaint, man. Yeah, we're going to go outside and we're going to feel that fresh, cool breeze of John's room. Because it is very hot in this closet. It's a nice, long episode. But yeah, did I say my name earlier?
No.
We talked about it. Oh, no, I think that was before we started recording.
Well, damn. Well, my name is Sydney, and this is John as well. This is John's Closet.
John's Closet.
Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.
Mm-hmm.